Welcome, Hudson Valley. This is Conor Walsh, host of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. This week on In Touch, we speak with Jessica Glass from Stenger Glass, Hagstrom, Lindars Iuele, LLP. Stenger Glass, a pillar of the Hudson Valley, recently rebranded to reflect changes in leadership, new hires, and a fresh vision for the future. Jessica and I discuss how she and her partners use their platform to encourage and support local business and provide the best insight for the Hudson Valley. We invite you to join us and listen to a previously recorded conversation between Jessica Glass and myself here on In Touch. I'm so proud to announce that In Touch has received another 2 Excellence in Broadcasting Awards from the New York State Broadcasting Association for 2024. In Touch received the award for Outstanding Public Affairs Program or Series for the second year in a row. Not just that, but In Touch also received the award for Outstanding Editorial/Commentary. This recognition would not be possible without all of our phenomenal guests that we learn from and grow with every single week, and of course, you, the listener. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just found us, thank you for taking part in the conversation and staying in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. Because of the awesome success of In Touch over the last year, we are expanding. We're launching a new spin-off series under the In Touch umbrella called Townsquare Spotlight. These spotlights focus on amazing celebrities and leaders passing through the Hudson Valley who are making an impact in pop culture. You can check out our latest spotlights with award-winning jazz musician and educator Hayes Greenfield, Team USA Paralympic swimmers Jessica Long and Haven Shepard, and New York Stage and Film artistic director Liz Carlson, wherever you listen to In Touch. Hello, Hudson Valley. This is Conor Walsh, and you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We got a great episode for you guys today, and with a very exciting company, one that has a nearly 40-year legacy here in the Hudson Valley. And I love speaking with organizations like this because they just got deep roots in the Hudson Valley, and it's just awesome to see the kind of wonderful things that they're able to accomplish. So with us today, I have Jessica Glass, partner with Stenger Glass, Hagstrom, Lindars Iuele, LLP. Jessica, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Really happy to have you in here today and excited to talk about like a number of things, really exciting things going on for you and your company right now. Big moment of growth, big moment of change, and big moment of recognition. You guys have recently gone through rebranding of sorts, new name, new vision, and a lot of cool things that are going to be coming out of that. New plans for the future, and also, I got to say kudos. You guys were recognized by Hudson Valley Magazine. They named you 2024's top lawyers in the Hudson Valley. Congratulations on that. That is awesome.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we're very excited about it.
Yeah, so I definitely wanted to talk about that a little bit more, what things look like for the future and what things look like for you specifically with your job. But could you give us a little bit of an overview of the firm? As I said, 40 years, nearly 40 years here in the Hudson Valley. So impressive. What has that legacy up to this point looked like?
Sure. So Ken Stenger, one of my partners, the Stenger in the Stenger Glass, etc., he has really had a vision of making a firm that lives beyond him. Ken is a few years off of retirement now, and I think that vision has finally really come together in all of us, the rest of the partners who have all recently joined. So the way that our firm is composed now is we have 5 partners, and from a succession planning perspective, all of the partners are, with the exception of Ken, are all people who are in their 40s and early 50s. And so we have just this real vision of growth and being together and continuing what Ken started 40 years ago well into the future now with all of us.
That's amazing. So with this new vision, this new future, as I said, you got a recent rebranding, new partners. What does that look like for the future? What does that mean now, moving forward, what people can expect from your firm and what you guys expect from yourselves?
The Dutchess County and Hudson Valley legal market can be a really tough one as far as succession planning and growth. There are other markets where attorneys, if you're not from this area, you don't return to this area after going to law school, there isn't necessarily a huge depth of the legal market as far as young people. And one of the things that's so unique about our firm and one of the things that we're so excited about is that currently we have a huge base of talent with my partners and I and the other attorneys who are in our firm being a younger generation of attorney. So there's a lot of aging out that's happening at other law firms, and we are so fortunate because we are not in that position. So it means that as we have come together as partners and as we're working towards the future, we are modernizing, we are working together to really accomplish just goals of bringing the firm forward in a way where we stay together and that we continue to be able to serve clients that were brought in by prior generations of attorneys that are being handed off to us. So we're providing succession for clients and for future clients too.
That's great. I love the idea of succession there. With what you were telling me, it just sounds like a lot of life, a lot of verve, a lot of potential, and still a lot of room to grow considering where, like, here you are, like this company around 40 years, but it sounds like it's a new chapter, a new beginning, like something beautiful can still come out of this as you modernize. And I think that is really shown in the recent recognition, the 2024 Top Lawyers in the Hudson Valley. What was that like to receive that recognition from Hudson Valley Magazine? That's a big honor.
It's fantastic because the award is given to attorneys who are nominated in their various areas of practice by their peers. So,
oh, wow.
So it's other attorneys doing the nomination. So it means that other attorneys in the area, in the Hudson Valley, picked four of us to be nominated for being considered to be the best attorneys in these various practice areas. So it's a huge honor because it means that not only are we doing a really good job for our clients, but other attorneys are recognizing that we're doing a good job and have identified us as leaders in each of our respective fields.
That is super complimentary right there. I think that just goes to show you how beautiful that it can be when everybody kind of works together and recognizes each other in that way. Because one thing's for sure, law, it can be cutthroat and it can be very stressful.
Sure.
So to be able to recognize each other to that degree is really wholesome and really altruistic. So to be able to engage like that, that's great.
Well, I have to say, Dutchess County in general, and I find it to be unique in areas that I've practiced in, there is a lot of camaraderie amongst attorneys in the county.
Wow.
You know, I've developed a lot of friendships with attorneys at other firms. I have to say that a huge chunk of my referral base for my own practice area are other attorneys who
Really?
just don't specialize in the type of things that I specialize in. So I have very close working relationships with attorneys at various other firms throughout the county and throughout the Hudson Valley too, which is nice.
That is nice. Yeah. And something that you just said that I really want to focus on, specializing, specialties, of course. There are certain firms that specialize in one thing over another. And I was looking on your website with the vast array of attorneys that you guys have, you're able to cover a number of different things. So could you please explain what you guys as a whole cover? And then if we can kind of focus more into what you cover specifically.
Sure. So we are a general practice law firm, which means that we handle comprehensively most areas of the law that would be relevant to people within this area. So we have a commercial litigation department that handles a variety of litigation. We have a trusts and estates department that handles estate planning, guardianships, various other matters, Medicaid planning related to asset protection. In that way, we have matrimonial department, we have a municipal law department, we do tax certiorari, which is tax grievances to appeal if your property taxes are too high. We have real estate, commercial and residential. We do banking, and then I personally handle our landlord-tenant. There's so many areas that we cover. It's more that there's certain things that we don't handle, which are like the specialty areas of practice. Yeah. And those are opportunities where we refer out to other firms. But I personally handle our business law and our commercial and residential real estate. But as a part of my business law practice, I focus on liquor licensing, which is just a really fun area to work in. And it's unique because there are very few attorneys locally who handle liquor licensing. So it's a specialty that I've developed over time that I really enjoy.
And that's awesome. And that's great that you're able to find that niche, and really take advantage of it. And one thing that I got to say that the Hudson Valley really has an abundance of is like great breweries, great wineries, great places that you can acquire local liquor or just be able to have a great time. So I'm sure probably a number of your clients are some of those local establishments. Am I right?
Yes. So I have numerous brewery clients throughout New York State. I have brewery clients in the city. I have brewery clients locally. Some of your favorites, I'm sure, are some of mine. Upstate, I have some out-of-state breweries too. I've really developed a specialty in breweries in particular.
Nice.
And some of my breweries, like for example, Sloop.
Oh, fantastic.
They were one of my very first. I think they were my first brewery client, right when they had opened their Elizaville tap room, and we kind of grew together
Wow.
in a lot of ways. So a lot of my brewery clients really have come in to me from the experience I developed with Sloop, which is great.
That's really awesome. And I think there's something really special in particular. We were talking about when we were off the mic about the rapport that you're able to build with all these people. And I think breaking down stigmas, that's something we talk about on In Touch all the time. Stigmas and just breaking down those stereotypes. And I want to get into that in just one moment. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking with Jessica Glass, partner with Stenger Glass, Hagstrom, Lindars, and Iuele, LLP. We were just talking about their recent rebranding, their legacy here in the Hudson Valley of nearly 40 years, and of course, they were recognized by Hudson Valley Magazine and technically their peers in this case as 2024's top lawyers in the Hudson Valley. Now, Jessica, I really want to touch on something we were talking about before we got into this discussion. You were talking about off the mic about breaking some of the stereotypes and kind of the more casual approach of going at things when there's kind of this stigma out there of dodgy, stingy lawyers. There's kind of a fear in business to a degree where it's like when somebody has to get a lawyer involved, they feel like there's more trouble than anything else. But we were talking how that's not necessarily the point, and how you were saying with Sloop, how you guys were able to build and grow together. Can you talk about that approach and this more modernization of attorneys these days?
Sure. So our firm is different than other firms that I've worked at in two ways.
Okay.
The first is when I met Ken Stenger and I was contemplating leaving the firm that I was at to join my current firm, he said to me, he's like, we are different in that I have a hand out to you, reach you and pull you up to partnership at some point. We are trying to build our attorneys so that they want to be here, they want to work here. He's like, and I want to do that to you. He's not a hand out to hold you down, it's a hand out to pull you up. And there's not a difference between partners and associates at our firm where it's you're this and you're subordinate to me and that's it. And that really resonated with me because that's not the typical way that law firms are when you're coming in as a junior attorney. And it really permeates our entire culture. We really work together as a team in that way where partners and associates, there's very little difference as far as responsibility or otherwise, but it translates across the board into everything we do, including how we interact with clients. So one of the things that I have always felt about my firm is that I can both be myself as a person, but also be myself as an attorney. I don't have to present a persona of what an attorney should be. What I have found really works with my clients is that I don't come across as what they think of as a typical attorney.
You're not coming from above them.
Nope. And so it's the exact same thing that Ken does, as culturally what he's tried to create as far as reaching out and pulling people up from an employee perspective. I mean, it's the same with my clients. I interact with them in a way where I'm not lecturing, talking down. They want to call me to talk through their problems because I'm talking to them like they're an equal to me, not that I am dictating to them what the law is or how they need to act. And I think a lot of people don't like attorneys because they feel that attorneys have some level of superiority when they're interacting with them. And that's just not who I am as a person. That's not the kind of attorney that I want to convey that I am to my clients either.
Absolutely. And just the way that you were talking before of how in other cases you'd never felt or weren't always able to express yourself fully, but you feel like you can represent yourself just as much as you're representing this firm. And of course, this is radio. You can't see what we're doing right now, but I just want to say the way that Jessica was explaining the handout thing, it's not the handout like a palm facing down, pushing something down, like that hand open, like that palm facing up. And I just think that it was beautiful imagery, and I just wanted to share so you had some kind of visualization of that. I thought that was great and needed it to be shared. They would miss out on that. They don't see that. But no, that's really fantastic. And to be able to deal with a number of these businesses, especially with the liquor licenses, what do you see when it comes to the growth and the business here in the Hudson Valley for those who you're able to assist and guide and grow together, as you said, like with Sloop?
Sure. So I think that the New York State has really put a tremendous emphasis on craft beverage.
Yeah.
And they've done a great job of modernizing liquor laws as relate to craft beverage in particular. So there is a booming number of, or at least, in recent years, there's been a booming number of breweries, distilleries, wineries, all small manufacturers opening up in the Hudson Valley, and I've worked with a number of them. It's a fantastic market. But also, in general, there are a lot of just different transitions. So a lot of businesses that survived COVID did pretty well during COVID, but they have aging out owners. I am involved in a lot of the sales of those businesses, liquor licensed and otherwise. So I'm seeing a lot of that now too, that there's a lot of younger owners coming in from either out of area, moving up from the city, that are taking over established businesses. We're very fortunate in the Hudson Valley because we have such great culinary.
Yes.
And so I'm seeing a lot of New York City restaurateurs coming up to take over or open new restaurants in the area. It's been really fantastic for me because I'm seeing so much growth, even as people are concerned about the economy and otherwise. There's a ton of business activity happening here, and I see it firsthand.
That's awesome. And the fact that you're kind of seeing, I feel like what you're working on and working with these businesses is kind of like an allegory of what's going on with your business, how you guys are in a state of growth, how you're almost in a changeover state. And as you're seeing these businesses change over, I'm sure there's probably a lot of lessons that you're learning from the older generations and you're able to pass on to the newer ones who are moving in to take over or create something new. What does that look like? It sounds like you're very hopeful for that in the future.
Definitely, both for my own business, because I think one of the reasons why I relate to my business owner clients is because I also am a business owner. Even though I'm an attorney, right? I'm running a business on a day-to-day basis because I'm one of the managing partners. So a lot of the business aspects of it fall on me too. One of the things that I like best about interacting with my clients and that I'm always hopeful for them is I'm really invested because many of them are long-term clients, but even with shorter-term clients, because I am a business attorney and because I'm involved in either the opening of their business, which is usually right when they're getting a liquor license or they're buying a business or selling a business, I get really involved in the longevity of their business too. And so a lot of my clients will call me just to talk through a problem. It's not even necessarily legal advice, but I've become sort of an arm of their business in so many ways that they'll start to need to work through something or just kick an idea around. And they call me.
You sound like a business therapist.
I have referred to myself that way.
Really?
Yeah, because a good attorney is. I mean, and it doesn't matter what practice area, and it could be matrimonial too. It could be, business, real estate. Certainly, there's a lot of emotions that clients have about certain things. And part of my job is to cut through the emotion to help them make a good decision. And so a lot of what I do is calming people down, going through different scenarios to help pick the right one. It's not just here's the law and we're going to apply it. A good attorney's not doing that. You're looking at someone holistically and you're helping them make a choice that works for them. Sometimes they don't follow my advice, but I have to then work within what it is that they're comfortable with to help them get the best result they can.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that's definitely not the picture that people get from like the Law and Orders out there. No, by no means. And I think that's such a great thing that you're able to help everybody else, help everybody out with. Really want to focus on that in a second. Again, you're still listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're still talking with Jessica Glass, partner with Stenger Glass, Hagstrom, Lindars, and Iuele, LLP, talking about what she does, looking on the business law side of things, helping out a lot of breweries in this area, restaurants, businesses with their liquor licenses, but also kind of being a business therapist in this way and being able to take care of everybody. And another thing that we were mentioning, I want to tie this all together between your business and the businesses that you're working with. You said before how with this recent rebranding and the team of people that you have, a number of people have come to you saying, it's like, I could see this being a forever job. I could see this being a place where I can grow and build. You yourself said this was a place you were able to grow and build. Here you are talking about these businesses. You were growing and building with them, and you're seeing that. So as we wrap up this episode, I just really want to hone in. What do you think is that magic ingredient that helps to really prosper and grow that forever job mentality?
In my opinion, it's a combination of things.
Yeah.
You have to present opportunities for the workplace to be fun.
Yeah.
You have to. And also, it has to be open door, right? If one of my employees has a concern or a problem, I want them to be able to come to me. If they make a mistake, I don't want them to be afraid to tell me about the mistake. I want us to be able to like collaboratively think about how to fix, because everyone makes mistakes. I make mistakes. You know, there's not anyone who does not ever fail to make mistakes. So you will make mistakes. But I have definitely worked at places where I was terrified to take ownership of a mistake, and I was trying to shuffle off the blame for a mistake, or, you know, not conceal, but like find a way to fix the mistake before I even had told anybody about the mistake on my own.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, because you don't want to say, I screwed something up. And so the type of leader that I think we're trying to encourage all of the attorneys in our firm to be are people who are not the boss that you're afraid of. They're the boss that you respect, that you want to do your best for, that you know, it's a stressful job. I mean, being an attorney is not easy. I really, you know, I'm working constantly.
I'm sure.
But it is the type of culture that we're trying to create at my firm is one where our staff really genuinely feel appreciated. And we do a lot of fun things within the office. And we do a lot of things that have like staff engagement, where we're doing things out of the office as well to keep things social, because the more that we feel like friends, the more people are happy to come to work too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a combination, you know.
Yeah.
But
and you were even saying before, like a more casual atmosphere and the humor that you try to bring to the day-to-day. So, you know, you were saying is like things that you're trying to do for that engagement. Like, what are things that you guys try to do to boost that morale and just be, you know, have fun with each other?
So we have an office kegerator.
Nice.
We have bar cart on Fridays. We close the office at 4, and we'll just all have a cocktail together.
That's so fun.
It's so fun. It developed during
Townsquare, we need to do that.
Right? I mean, so when I worked in the city, there was a law firm that had a bar cart it was not my firm, but I visited there once, and they had a bar cart that they pushed around at 4 p.m. on Fridays. And so it has been my goal to work at a place where ultimately there would be a bar cart, and it was probably one of the first things that I did as a partner, becoming a partner at my firm. I was like, we're having bar cart. We are having cocktails on Fridays at 4 p.m. And that really was a big thing with transitioning, like the office feeling like a law firm to the office feeling like, okay, we're friends here. You know?
Where you can talk, you can be a little more
relax.
Open. Yes.
Yep. We have various like themed lunches, you know, any kind of holiday, we have some kind of themed lunch. We did a winery tour together this summer. We have like various firm outings at various types of locations that we'll do all together, you know, here and there. It's like top down, like we all participate in trying to make it just a place where, despite the stress, despite the hard work, that our employees feel appreciated.
And that's what you said there, top down, everybody's involved. And that's such a big thing when you see people from every level really get involved with each other. And it makes each person easier to approach, to be able to have those difficult conversations where you're saying, it's like, if there's a problem, if there's a question, if something comes up, establishing that rapport early on in those ways makes such a big difference. And for those listening, you don't have to necessarily do a bar cart or go out to do certain events, but just finding the ways that you're able to break down those walls where you can have those more relaxed conversations is just so big. But just take those as examples. Those are great examples, and I think that's fantastic. So Jessica, thank you so much for being here on In Touch. If anybody is looking for any of your services, whether yourself, your partners, anybody there at the firm, what is the best way to get in contact with you guys?
They could go on our website to learn some more information about us. It's www.stengerglass.com. They could call us. Our telephone number is 845-298-2000. You could also email me. It's jglass@stengerglass.com.
Fantastic. And of course, all links and information will be in the description of this episode, so it's not like you're going to have to repeat this too many times. It'll just be right there, or you don't have to search too hard. So, no, we're in great shape. Jessica, thank you so much for being here on In Touch. Greatly appreciate your story. And again, congratulations to all the rebranding and recognition that you guys have been getting. Very well deserved.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Of course. This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to Jessica Glass. For more information, please visit stengerglass.com. Of course, all links and information can be found in the description of this episode. I've been your host, Conor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time